Hello everyone, J-Games here again. This will be the tale of brothers bound by fate. This is going to be reigniting my old most popular what if Ace and Luffy were blood related. In this one, basically, Garp and Roger are brothers, and they take a different route in life. Garp becomes a marine, and a legend of marines. Roger becomes a pirate, and a legend among pirates in the world. Now, the last time these brothers actually agreed on something, before God Valley, was raising Ace. It settled on Garp's son, Dragon, who got when pregnant, and, Dragon and Rouge are roughly pretty close in age. So, they end up having, kids, Dragon's girlfriend, wife, random hookup, got, pregnant around the time that Rouge had gotten pregnant from Roger. The difference is that Dragon's girlfriend isn't being hunted, so there's no need for her to hold in a child. So there out comes, a Luffy who's going to be 2 years older in this one. And then 2 years later, out comes his cousin Ace. But Garp was there, and so was a 2-year-old Luffy. And Garp, being crying a little bit, this is the last bit of his brother he has left. And then kind of just told Luffy that this is his new brother. Fuchsia smiles at this, telling Garp that Garp should never tell these two that they aren't actually brothers. They're going to be together at all times. They should always think and act like brothers. Which nodded, smiled, and agreed, saying he'll make sure that they are, or that they do act this way. Now this we go on to a few years later. Luffy is now 12, and Ace is 10. Luffy spends most of his time in Fuchsia because the barkeep Makino gives him an Ace pretty good food, and also Whoop Slap does give him a good old story time occasionally. Some of them are boring, some of them are fun. Who knows? But still. He hangs out, if Fuchsia wants to time with Ace, and his friend Sabo hang out in the Great Terminal. Now one day, also in this one, Luffy is a bit bigger, until he reaches, the age, which, he'd probably be the same as Ace most of the story, I'd say. But, yeah. So, with this, when Higuma burst into the bar trying to start anything, Higuma saw Luffy and kind of just stared him down, a little annoyed. As Luffy fights Higuma 24/7, Higuma and his bandits, and Ace and Sabo spend their time fighting against Blue Jam and his crew. So, with this, Ace and Sabo fighting is a more terrifying foe in quality, while then Luffy fights a more terrifying foe in quantity. But still, they just have really no skill. But still, they're kind of terrified at Luffy, but Luffy isn't terrified to them at all. Hold up. So, Luffy would basically, turn to Higuma and his men, and Higuma eventually says, "Never mind, it's not worth it," and turns around and walks away. Luffy then smirks, striking conflict with Higuma, basically calling him basically a spineless coward, despite him being well over 8 feet tall, and still terrified of a kid who's barely scratching the surface of 3 feet. And plus Higuma has a sword, and this kid has nothing on him. When he turned around, going in and slashed at Luffy with a sword, Luffy jumped right over Higuma's blade, mashing a bottle right over his head, knocking him out. Luffy turned around with a broken bottle, and jabbed it right into the side of Higuma's right-hand man, making everyone else run out besides Higuma and his right-hand man, as Luffy kicked them both out of the bar, telling them to stay out. Shanks was laughing at this, and talked to Luffy for a bit. These two get along, and eventually Luffy had eaten the Gomu no Mi still, but honestly just out of curiosity trying a new food. He kind of just had to taste like ass and trying to turn around and see what Luffy was eating, only to yell at him. They had that same random encounter too. So yeah, Luffy sells the scar, by the way, but that's when Ace hit him in the face before he had a devil fruit. That's anything else. Ace hit him in the face just hard, and that made the scar on his face. So yeah. But with this, eventually he and his bandits kind of just disband, not really wanting to be with the kid who killed a grown man and then beat up another one. So, yeah. But now with this, Higuma just still kind of sets out to siege to chase out Shanks', not chase, but kind of just I can see Higuma dying, honestly, just trying to invade Shanks' ship, and the Sea King would try to bite down the ship only to get Higuma, then be chased off by Shanks. That's what happened. Higuma tries to invade Shanks' ship as a castaway, then gets eaten by the Sea King. Then Shanks chases away the Sea King. So yeah. So now with this, we can go on to basically, what was it? Oh yeah, so I don't see a lot of basically the stories of the Great Terminal for Ace, Sabo, and Luffy going much different, honestly. Just Luffy, Ace, Sabo all have a bit more power. When there's difference when Sabo's dad tries to take him back, he still does. But he escaped narrowly by actually shooting at Ace and actually almost hitting Ace right in the arm, which made Luffy pay attention to Ace a bit more than actually chasing Sabo, as Ace is his younger brother. As far as he knows, Ace is his younger brother. But Sabo eventually had gotten away, and, well, Ace wasn't hit, but was grazed. Luffy got pissed off, but still Blue Gem's whole crew and the guards around them were beaten. But still, they could finally get Sabo back, and Sabo eventually did resort to going to sea. But Luffy had actually watched the ship be shot down, and this would actually make him confirm to Ace that Sabo had actually died. Dragon and Luffy both cried hysterically. Ace and Luffy both cried hysterically for days, until eventually, well, we just go on. Well, it's a Great Ring of Fire, but that's the Great Ring of Fire happened before this. But a lot of the story is much different even after Sabo's death. Instead, Ace and Luffy turn to their heart's content, making sure that they get stronger and stronger. Luffy practiced by actually taking this out on basically anyone in the Great Terminal that was honestly associated with Blue Diamond's crew, or he was Old Bandit crew. Because anyone that wasn't an ally of Luffy, or basically anyone who wasn't a good guy, so to say. But eventually, Luffy and Ace are both 17, and they decided to set sail. They set sail going on a very similar adventure as Ace did in canon. As well, Ace, as far as we know, the story that would take place 3 years ago would be literally just be Ace's story. At this point, Ace is 17, Luffy's 19. So, yeah. And Luffy's about as strong as he is when he's actually 19. Well, has all the same techniques, just, well, not as much hockey, just a better pain tolerance. So, it's not good for him to have this pain tolerance when he uses the attacks recklessly, but he still tries. But on the island 6, they would meet their doctor, Mass Deuce, and they eventually find Ace's whole crew, but eventually only leads up to them still meeting Whitebeard and everything after fighting Jinbei, or Ace had fought Jinbei. But Luffy, honestly, was actually watching Ace fight, as Luffy is more or less known as captain of the crew. This crew is just known as the AS Pirates. Kind of like how Adult Swim has the AS and like their logo. Like the logo of basically the logo of the AS Pirates is the exact same thing, just AS. But on top, basically just like kind of like, it's like the AS logo, but then well, not actually. It would be called the AS Crew, but then, well, the logo is honestly just a Jolly Roger. But then, instead of just the usual, 2 bones, there's 4 of them. And then, stacked up would be basically Ace's hat and Luffy's hat. So, yeah, so the AS Crew can make up of that. But now, or it can be kind of just 2 skulls, and each of them wears a hat, but, yeah. So, Ace fights Jinbei for the 3 days straight, but beats Jinbei after, 1 day before the canonical end of the fight. Then Whitebeard would arrive, and Luffy and the Whitebeard crew, the AS Pirates and the Whitebeard crew clash. These two crews clash, it's a really interesting battle. But eventually, the fight would honestly still end in more of, Whitebeard crew winning, but Luffy doesn't pass out. Instead, he picks up Ace and walks on board as he says Ace is his younger brother. So they allow Luffy to go with them with Ace. And a lot of the AS crew actually does leave, as Master Deuce is the only important crew member that we know of, being the Doctor. So yeah, this time when Ace does suggest that they try to kill Whitebeard, Luffy just says it's not worth it. At this point, Luffy and Ace both have bounties worth of roughly about 300 million, around there. At this point, they're both roughly about, I would say, it's like a year and a half into their pirating journey. A year and a half later, they will have bounty 300 million. Or actually, I can say 150 million. I'll go with that high, as that's the highest bounty among the warlords. So Luffy and Ace both have bounties on 150 million. So yeah. Luffy has the title Straw Hat Luffy, and Ace has the title Fire Fist Ace. And they were both, they both individually got letters to join the warlords, but Luffy kind of just sent a letter back with just a drawn middle finger. And under it just says, "To Garp." So yeah, and Ace did the same thing, just a lot better of a drawing. So yeah. But now with this, eventually we go on to, I would say the original, time the Straw Hat story would begin. At this point, Luffy, Ace has the Whitebeard pirate tattoo, but he also does acknowledge himself as his own pirate, not just someone attached to the Whitebeard crew, as Luffy has these same ideals. But Whitebeard actually acknowledges this more as calling them his sons, as they still have their own sense of being mature and on their own. So he does consider them still his sons, but like the kids that move away from home and not always stay at sea with him. Considers them more and more of an allied crew that travel with them most of the time. Because that's kind of what they are. They have their own ship and everything that follows Whitebeard, and they stay on that ship most of the time. They don't usually go more than a month without being with each other. At this point, Luffy actually does suggest that him and Ace should go out to sea on their own. like again how they used to be. Is their bounties now have risen at this point to roughly around 230 million, or actually Ace's bounty at this point is 550 million, and he's been out to sea it for 3 years, which is a pretty high bounty. As Luffy did 500 million in 2 years, but still. So I can probably put Luffy's bounty at, actually no, his bounty after like a year was 200 million, but 500 million, I mean, but still. Luffy and Ace bounty at this point are roughly both about, I would say, select maybe. I can see Luffy having the higher bounty of the two, being at 580 million. He's a bit more of an outward fighter, and Ace being the more intelligent one is a bit more held back at times, but his bounty's still the same at 550 million. But Ace has these tattoo for his Whitebeard, like pirates. It's more or less like kind of just on his side, like on the same arm where he has the Ace tattoo, like the Ace Sabo crossed out for the S, C Crybaby or Luffy. But this one will Crybaby want to see what happens because Luffy cried a bit longer than Ace did when Sabo had died, and that led him getting the name Crybaby from Ace. Even though Ace was a bit more of a crybaby for the first moment he heard it. But yeah, if Ace didn't cry, Luffy wouldn't have cried. But yeah, seeing his brother break down broke him down too. And then, well, the E, Edward Newgate. And, well, the same arm that has that tattoo, like Oi under on the side, is, well, the Whitebeard logo. And Luffy usually wears a vest, but he has the Whitebeard logo, like, right on his back. So the vest usually just hides it, but you can see like occasional bits of it going out on his arms or going into where's his six pack, but not all the time. But yeah, now with this, well, we eventually go into the AS crew, and she wanting to leave, and Master Dukes would join them. They say go to Whitebeard, and they would leave Sphinx Island. They head into the East Blue now, and Luffy had just turned 22. Ace had just turned 20. And, well, Ace turned 20 a few months ago. Luffy just turned 22. But now that they're in the East, they decided to gather the AS crew, or a new AS crew. But Ace just smirks, saying that with Luffy having the higher bounty of the two and none of them no longer being equal, they'd more likely acknowledge Luffy as captain more than Ace would. And Master Dukes acknowledged that on the crew, saying that even when they weren't division commanders, even when Ace wanted to be one, well, everyone put up Luffy for candidate, and barely anyone voted for Ace because Luffy had the higher bounty of the two. This does annoy Ace a bit, but he does respect it, realizing that Luffy is the stronger of the two. And at this point, Luffy and Ace can both use a decent form of haki, but they both have somewhat controlled conquerors, and Luffy used observation, Ace used ornament haki. So yeah, Marco specifically trained Luffy in observation, and Master Deuce is a better user of ornament haki as he's kind of Ace's sparring partner most of the time. Yeah. But down in the East, well, their first stop happens to actually, well, be, I would say, what could be, I guess the target could actually still be, well, first fighting Alvida's crew. Alvida recognized honestly Ace's tattoo, then recognized the flag, and immediately got nervous, saying, they both have bounties of 500 million, and this immediately kind of just scared her crew shitless. We start out with them as they're actually just kind of bullying Kobe, like he heard them bullying Kobe below deck. Luffy's observation haki activates very similar to, I would say, Isa's from Skypiea. That's like how very similar to how his operates. But also a bit of precognition in there, as he has pretty controlled observation. He did now walk on board, walk below, and she grabbed tons of barrels of alcohol and picked up Kobe, saying, "Alright, we'll be leaving now." He put on his boat, puts down all the barrels, and sails away with Kobe. Master Deuce is more like their active navigator, and Ace is more like their sailor. So, yeah. But now Kobe dropped off at Shelltown. Kobe would actually thank them, asking why these pirates are so nice. But Luffy just says that they're good pirates. No, not all pirates are evil scum. Like, for example, the warlord Doflamingo or Arlong. Now giving examples of pirates he knows of that are notable in the East, but also across the world. Luffy's world knowledge is actually pretty vast. He's been to the New World. He's been pretty deep into the New World. He's been to Fishman Island. He knows Jinbei. So, he knows a good amount about the world. Yeah. But yeah. But with this, well, we should go on to... He's going to the whole thing with Zoro. And the little girl, pretty sure her name is Rika, trying to feed Zoro the rice balls. Zoro said no. Luffy just grabbed his jaw and held it open, then fed him the rice balls. And Zoro was like, damn it, as he just ate it all. But then, well, suddenly Helmpo had walked into the ground, saying, what do we have here, little pirate trying to feed? And they got nervous and put the gun away, telling them, get my dad, please, get him. As he had recognized Luffy. It made news that, well, the original AS crew that originally conquered the East was back in it, but now under a new guise of the name the Straw Hat Pirates. As Luffy had, well, the one higher bounty, he's the one that now actually has the more notoriety of the crew, due to just him being a bit more hyperactive and going into battles a bit more often than Ace would. Barely more often, but still more often. So he was a bit more notable of the two, having a 570 million berry bounty. Morgan jumped down off the roof landing, wanting to fight Luffy. But when he swung his sword, Luffy just caught it and kind of squeezed a little bit of pressure onto the tip of the axe and made a giant crack across it. Then he then just twisted it and snapped the axe completely in half, then slashed Morgan right across the face with it. Telling Morgan that he'll give him another chance to basically just leave, or he'll keep slashing away at Morgan's face until it looks like someone put his face in garbage disposal. Morgan tried to rush at Luffy again, and Luffy ended up keeping his promise. Morgan's face truly looked like someone put him in a garbage disposal. So, yeah. Luffy threw the half of his axe in the ground, and then untied Zoro. Suddenly, Kobe's put at gunpoint by Helmpo, only for Helmpo to be shot right in the arm by Masseuse, and Masseuse told him just fuck off. Helmpo ran away holding his arm, screaming in pain, and ran into the Marine base to the doctor immediately. Zoro thanking Luffy, then recognized him from the bounty poster, saying, oh, what, you here to recruit me or something? We nodded, saying, yeah, you have a pretty good reputation, and none of us can use a sword. At the best, Ace is mediocre with a knife. Ace says, should I be offended or not? And Messenger says, I'm pretty sure you can be average, but you are kind of mediocre. And Ace sighs, saying, for now, I'll be nice. And Messenger says, how strong he is compared to you, you have no choice but to be nice. Ace just stared at him with just a little bit of annoyance. So, yeah. Zoro walked in Helmpo's room, grabbing his blades, and then they leave. Kobe would thank Masseuse, and Masseuse just nods, saying it was an honor to have Kobe aboard their ship. Kobe is a really good guest compared to these two rowdy brothers. But Luffy's current ship is a lot bigger than the Sunny is. The Sunny is not a big ship, or it's big because it's a ship. But compared to the Supernovas, it's not that big of a ship. And also, Ace and Luffy aren't really supernovas. It'd mainly be Zoro and Sanji. Because Luffy's an OG pirate with a bounty of over $500 million, so it works out for him. He's more similar to basically the supernova of Cavendish generation. Like Cavendish, when he said that, he said he was a supernova from 3 years ago, same generation as Ace was. So yeah, hold up, pause. Where was I? Yeah, the Straw Hat to leave with Zoro, the Straw Hat to leave with Zoro. I want to go over the positions of the crew real quick, just for the sake of it. Luffy is basically the captain, Ace, vice captain, Masseuse acts currently as the doctor and kind of like a handyman for Ace's striker and a bit of the ship as well. He's like the Usopp of the ship, a bit better. Well, not even Usopp. That's worse. That's not. I shouldn't compare him to Usopp. He's basically a shipwright, but not as good as like Frankie or Galileo. He's like an okay shipwright. He's like you're good, but we're gonna find a better one when we get to so and so island. We know it. So yeah. So due to Masseuse being like a doctor, but also more like a journalist too, he wouldn't replace Chopper. He would actually be more like Chopper's. Chopper is gonna be more like a nurse than a doctor in the story, basically. Because Masseuse has been through the East Blue, the South Blue, so it's Luffy and Ace. They've been through the Calm Belt. They've been through Paradise multiple times over. They've been to the New World multiple times over. They've been to Fishman Island multiple times over. They've been to islands that not even the canonical Straw Hats have gone to yet, such as the Pirate Paradise, Sphinx Island, Random Islands. They haven't been to Skypiea yet. Warrior almost let them go, but yeah, they decided not to. What's one thing? Thatch. Thatch in this one is dead, but he died like a week after Ace and Luffy left. So they know who killed it, and Whitebeard told them, but he's like, since you guys are your own independent pirates, well, if you guys see Blackbeard, turn him into me. And they agreed to do that. So If they find Blackbeard, it's gonna be all out fight. Boom. Simple as that. But yeah. So now next up is Orangetown. And we came to finding the bird, Ace just sniped it right out of the sky, but they're also better ships, so they sail a bit faster, because their ship is bigger than the Sunny. They have enough room to fit a lot of people. They have enough room to fit at least 30 people. And Luffy has a different style of crew, more than basically wanting a short amount of people. Like, I don't know if it's like, I only big crew, I want these roles and that's it. This Luffy more or less believes in quantity and quality. He's basically like, well, I don't need quantity, but if I want like a large number of people, I need to make sure they have qualities that my current crew doesn't have. Which Deuce is basically the jack of all trades, because Ace and Luffy are incompetent in most things besides fighting and reading. So yeah, Luffy and Ace are not that they're not that good of pirates, but they still try. But yeah. So yeah, so we should go on to Orangetown. They arrived there same time as Uncle Luffy did. Deuce jumped in and basically just kicked down one of Nami's attackers. Luffy then swept in, kicking one of them off their feet. Then Ace just scorched him. So yeah. Well, I think we should go on as Buggy's crew, but Ace is really too threatened by them. He honestly holds up like a giant, like the sun, and tells him to leave. Buggy's not like basically the knife at Ace, but they just went straight through him, and Buggy immediately just said, "All right, we'll be taking a leave of absence," and they just go. Ace just made a sun, and Buggy's crew just fled. There's no fight or anything. They just fled out of fear. But let me examine this crew real quick, then examine Luffy and Ace's tattoos, even Deuce's tattoos. Basically, Ace's tattoos are just on his side. It's pretty revealed he doesn't wear a shirt. Then Luffy's, it's kind of windy out, so his jacket's blowing through his Deuce. And she sees Luffy and Deuce tattoos on their back, where it's basically the Whitebeard crew. Then Ace has his open. She asks if they're like ex-members of his crew, or if they're actually members of the crew. And basically says it's complicated, but we're his allies currently. He considers us part of his crew, but also just as allies. So kind of just in between both. We're our own independent crew, but we'd also gladly serve under him if we were to be with him again. So yeah, Nami understands that a bit, and well, she actually thinks these two individually probably take on Arlong Park because their bounties are probably in 500 million. She recognizes Luffy, but not Ace and Deuce. The Spade Pirates, they had a ship. They had a bounty of, I would say, probably over 100 million collectively. And I'd probably put Deuce bounty at maybe comparable to like maybe Zoro and Sanji currently, but we also don't know the current Straw Hat bounties, because Zoro took down King, Sanji took down Queen. I put Deuce maybe in the running of like the 200 million to 300 million range, maybe even 400 million to get lucky, but he's also Ace's right hand man, so that may throw a little wrench in everything. So I put him in the 200 300 million range. Settle down, I'll put him at 320 million. That's Deuce's current bounty. So yeah, he's above every current supernova up until they even just have Odie, where he'll still be above them all. But Kid would have a very close up to him. So yeah, but Nami will go with them. Actually, is pretty secure on the Straw Hat crew. So, yeah. But also it's amazing how big the ship is. Luffy's like, yeah, we kind of just have this ship. We built it a long time ago with the help of a few shipwrights. But we never even used a ship. We kind of just had it sitting on Sphinx Island collecting dust. We started taking it out to sea now. There's a lot of empty rooms on it too, so we can just claim one of the empty rooms, and then it's yours. So yeah, this is enough room to fit 20 people or so it'll work out for her. Hold it, pause. Yeah, my planned crew is big, but it can still be more than 20 people on the boat. Luffy has the biggest room in the mall because he's the captain. But also, Luffy wouldn't be captain if it wasn't for Deuce, basically saying that because Luffy's higher bounty, he's the one to more likely to get all the credit from everything else. So yeah. But yeah, after this we go on to our village. When they arrive, Usopp sees the giant ship, and then sees the Jolly Roger of basically the Straw Hat flag. We don't jump on the land, and Usopp immediately shocked that there's a big pirate ship here. Even the villagers see this gigantic pirate ship here. They become a bit concerned because they're not here for a fight or anything else. Which does make them glad, but he's honestly says, hey, we're here to give it food and water. So they honestly buy it with like honest money and everything. So. But as we're walking around, Kuro kind of followed them a bit. They're like, we have a big ship that can't be some nobody pirates. But then got a close look at them. He didn't recognize Jolly Roger, but looked at their faces and their tattoos. Like, yeah, their faces are a bit familiar. even the blue-haired guy, but not the girl in the moss head. Take a look at Ace and Luffy's face, and then Masu's face, even though he wears a mask, so no one knows who he is. Even though it's like does not even a good mask. But then looks at their backs. Luffy doesn't really have a vest on right now, kind of just chilling out. It's a hot day. So it's like midsummer. He just turned 22, so it's still in the summer. For him right now, it's like currently June, like it is right now. Or is it still? Yeah, June 29th, whatever. So, yeah, it's currently it's like June 1st for him. But yeah, so you does see the Whitebeard emblem on Luffy, Ace, and Masu's back. And Luffy has like a tattoo of like the straw hat, just kind of like on his. He has a few tattoos. One of the Whitebeard symbol on his back. We usually wears a vest over, and this is like super hot. Then kind of like on his arm where like the 3D2Y thing would be. Yeah, but it's not like 3D2Y. It's more like a what would I say? I would say it's more like kind of like just literally just the AS, just to represent the start, like the basically just AS for like the I guess the Ace. Well, I don't know. I'd say AS. It's more like an AL crew, or Ace and Straw Hat, but it could be AS for Ace, for basically Ace and Straw Hat. But yeah, because Ace prefers Ace over Five Fist Ace, and then Luffy just likes Mugiwara or Straw Hat. But then driver just like right over below the AS tattoo, Luffy has a SH tattoo or Straw Hat tattoo. So yeah, or it could be an M for Mugiwara, but yeah, Luffy has, well, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5 tattoos. Yeah, and then Ace has, well, 6 tattoos. But still, they both have a few tattoos. So yeah. But we can probably just go on to Kuro kind of being nervous now. Like, if he were to be outed as a pirate here, there's no chance he'd win a fight against these two. Masu seems to be someone whose intelligence might be on par with his, as he's very carefully thinking out everything as they go along. Which actually does fit Masu's personality. He's a very calm and kind of just nice guy, but also very anxious and cautious at all times. Especially because they're back in the East Blue, but they all have bounties of 500 million, or they're two of their guys do, but he has a bounty of 320 million, so yeah. Pause real quick. Alright. I believe I was at Usopp's village. Kuro recognized them as members of Whitebeard's crew. And yeah. Earlier here, they do hang out with Usopp, and they kind of tell them that they used to be members of a Yonko's crew, but they're still allies with said Yonko. They also have to break down what Yonko is to Usopp, which does kind of shock them, but it happens. But yeah. So yeah. Eventually, when Kuro's crew is here, he kind of warns Jungo about, well, Luffy, Ace, and, well, I guess the whole Strike crew. Little does you know that Luffy, Ace, Master Deuce, and Usopp are eavesdropping. But Master Deuce kind of like peeked over a cliff, saying, "I should just do this now." And quickly, 2 gunshots are heard, but they're pretty far from the village, and no one really heard it unless you have good hearing, like maybe Zoro or Sanji. Not Sanji. Like Zoro, maybe even Usopp. But, yep. Master Deuce kind of just shot Kuro and shot Kuro and Jungo, like both like right straight through the head, killing them both immediately. And they're both just thrown to sea. So, yep. They're lost to the waves. So eventually Kuro's whole crew arrived, wanting to see their captain, only to be met by basically just the whole Strike crew, including Usopp. And in the meantime, Master actually built Usopp a Kabuto, telling Usopp that he could probably get better range with a Kabuto. But Usopp and him being building it together. So yeah. Now this Usopp's first strike actually went straight at like one of the Yama brothers who were leading the crew as Jungo didn't come back. Yama brothers hit right in the face with a Tabasco star, but a lot bigger one. Usopp had made a few bigger stars, only not a few, like I guess like 2 or 3 maybe. So I guess exactly a few. So with this, but yeah, so This master scar will start when someone's basically just, when they said Meow Mother's eyes, nose, and their mouth. And have them have like a full-blown freak out. Luffy just smirks and tells Nami go hit him. But nervous as she ran full speed with their staff, actually obeying Luffy's orders. As Master Deuce kind of just trains Nami a bit, as she's not really too good at fighting. Master Deuce is more like a teacher figure, like he's more like the mom figure of the crew, while Luffy is more like the dad of the crew. Ace is like the cool uncle of the crew, really. Master Deuce, mom, Luffy, dad, Ace, cool yet weird uncle. So it's kind of how the crew is supposed to be at this point. Like, honestly, like, I'm the mother that'll keep you going and doing everything. Luffy's like, I'm the dad that'll let you do anything you want, just don't cause trouble for the rest of the family. So yeah. But yeah, Nami ran full speed ahead, hitting the brother kind of just right in the throat, full speed ahead and full strength with her staff. Which actually kind of made him pass out through just agonizing pain. Other than that, the hitter to Luffy just told Zoro just onigiri him, and Zoro almost cutting his brother in half. Almost. But yeah, the rest of the crew is honestly handled pretty easily by the Straw Hat numbers. So yeah, there's not even that much of them. Just really Luffy, Ace, Master Deuce, Zoro, Nami, and Usopp. Just those guys handle it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys handle a whole crew. It's probably bigger than 20 people. So yeah. Now they're about to leave, and Usopp does join them, claiming his room, but also Master Deuce letting him into the workshop. One person that's really not allowed in the workshop is literally just Luffy. Literally only Luffy. He's still a bit like an Uncle Luffy, just has some bit of brains in him, because Marco trained him most of the time, just not in intelligence. Luffy and Master Deuce are both students of Marco, but Marco could only teach Master Deuce, could only teach Luffy observation hockey, as he could, like, well, Whitebeard personally trained Ace and Luffy both with Conqueror's hockey, so Luffy didn't get as much time to spend on ornament hockey, but spent more time on observation, so yeah, Ace had a bit more time because he's more interested in armament hockey. He's trained a bit more of it on his own, though, and trained with Master Deuce on most of it. Master Deuce can use pretty good armament hockey, but not as well observation. Luffy's the best observation user of his brothers, as Ace can't use it at all, and Luffy can use it a little. No, well, Master Deuce can use it a little. Luffy's a pretty average user. He can even use somewhat advanced observation because he's the main character. He has plot armor, and he's also a prodigy. So yeah. Alright, but yeah, the next arc, I believe, would be Baratie, which honestly doesn't go much different. So, yeah. The only thing is that when Krieg tries to basically take over the Baratie, Ace just walked over and stabbed him, like, clean in the hand, telling him to get off the damn ship. So, yeah. Krieg's like, who the hell do you think you are? Then look up at Luffy as Gin and says, Sir, I tried to tell you not to do this. Krieg says, Right away, sir. Ace pulled the knife out of his hand, and Krieg just told everyone to retreat. They got in their boats and ran towards ahead, but Ace told Gin to stay here, and then Ace and fire-fisted most of the ships that Krieg had with him. So yeah. So Luffy ended up meeting up with Shanks, but Shanks told Luffy to keep the hat. Because we see Ace, when he's on Whitebeard's crew, still meet Shanks. Also, there's a funny thing where Shanks had 2 arms in the scene. I don't know how he had 2 arms, but he did. But yeah, Luffy has met Shanks once or twice, just through accidents. But yeah, I just want to mention that real quick. But yeah, so Baratie not much different. Zoro fights against Mihawk, goes the exact same way. But on Arlong Park, Yosuke are still with them. But Nami just encouraged them to go fight Arlong, because like you guys can beat him pretty easily. So yeah, so they arrive, and well, not even they. It's literally just Johnny, Yosuke, like not even just Luffy just sends out Zoro, Usopp, Nami, and Sanji. Just them. They head into Arlong Park and they kind of wreak havoc. Nami's actually a bit stronger too. So like she's okay in power. Her and Usopp combined are able to beat Chu. Johnny Yosuke can handle like any random fishman. Sanji fights Scrooby, and Zoro fights Hachi but quickly to beat him, and then he fights against Arlong as well. But Zoro's being a bit more powerful, just through a lot more training, he's actually able to easily defeat Arlong. So yeah. He kind of cut off Arlong's nose, and then Mr. Arlong's pain just cut him down. So, yeah. This is the arc. So next up is Whiskey Peak. But they still meet Vivi, they still meet Laboon, everything goes pretty similar. Luffy Peak is basically the exact same, just Luffy and Zoro don't fight. Instead, Luffy just understood what Zoro was doing, because he saw basically all the villagers armed with guns and knives. But then when Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine arrive, Master Deuce and Ace are walking by, yawning, as the two Baroque members are just thrown halfway across the island, as these two monsters just yawn, asking who they were. But Luffy says he doesn't know, but they should leave. Everyone here's an assassin. Everyone's walking up, and then they all leave, heading to Little Garden. But in the meantime, Master Deuce and Vivi are kind of flirting for a bit. Vivi has a thing for this fellow blue-haired man. Master Deuce doesn't know this, but doesn't try to get involved with her. She is 16 and he's 20. So yeah, just very nice to her while she flirts 24/7. So, Sanji's pretty jealous, but Master Deuce says, "No, Sanji, you're not any better. You're 19. You're 19. You're me, but you're 3 years older than her. Give a rest." So yeah, but Little Garden isn't much different. It's just that when the waxing and falling and people being frozen, it can just sends a heat to the point where the wax couldn't land within 100 feet of the Little Garden itself. It just had that much heat emitting off his body. Moving your second, kind of expanding his radius. Basically, there couldn't be any sign of wax. And then just kind of ruined Mr. 3's abilities. But then he arrived and Luffy punched him right in the chest, breaking a majority of his ribs. Then when it came to Miss Golden Week, Master Deuce just picked her up and threw her paint in the water. Just threw it right in the ocean, then put her back down. So it's ruined all of her abilities. Just all of her paint smeared into the ocean. And her paintbrush snapped. Now Drum Island. Now Nami is sick with Master Deuce. Well, they're kind of short on supplies here. So they don't have the sword to give any medical supplies, so they start down with Dr. Rain, and Dr. Rain's like, "What? We can't. You must give us something to offer. But we can't give you doctor services." And she's like, "Oh no, I'm a doctor myself. I just need materials." And he's like, "What? You guys store materials?" Like, "Yeah, we set sail, but a bit of our stuff was actually already kind of worn out." And Dr. Rain can investigate the ship, realizing how big it is, and seeing all the news Master Deuce has, realizing that he's kind of more. He's probably a better doctor than her and Chopper, both combined. With how much experience he's had across Paradise, across the New World, across Fishman Island, even. So yeah, and Chopper's kind of fascinated by this, and then when Chopper's being so fascinated, Master Deuce offers to actually teach him a bit of this stuff he has. So, pause. But yeah, so Chopper kind of studies under Master Deuce a bit for medicine until Nami's fine after 2.5 days instead of 3. Master Deuce kind of running short on basically just material, so it could have been solved in 1 day, but the tools they have right now, it's 2.5 instead of 3. But as they're about to leave, Master Deuce actually offered to have kind of just told Dr. Rain, "Oh, I'll take Chopper as a student of mine. Don't consider him higher, consider him basically my assistant. Or my nurse." Chopper agreed to this, and so did Dr. Rain. Just kind of told him, "Don't let Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro eat him." And Ace says he'll make sure that they don't, as Ace will help up his knife and a fork. And Dr. Rain said that. Tells him to come to Master Deuce, watch him too. But yeah. As they're leaving, they come across Wapol's ship, but Ace immediately just fire-fisted it full force and walked away. Then get to Alabasta, which, honestly, they clean sweep Alabasta. They no diff the whole story. But yeah, on bounties real quick. Actually, I can go over bounties after the arc. Yeah, but honestly, the fights aren't that interesting. When Luffy and Crocodile first meet, Crocodile cannot beat Luffy. Luffy's able to evade all Crocodile's attacks, or easily able to get around him. One even kind of just grabbed him by the back and threw him in the air, which shocked him. One for Master Deuce to punch him in the face full force, using Art Hockey, sending him into the ground. Crocodile's unconscious, laying on the ground with his face caved in. And then turn him into the Marines, as they know Smoker's here, so yeah. It's really all it took. Just the first encounter Crocodile has, Luffy gave him to Master Deuce, and Master Deuce knocked him out. Literally all that happened. So, yep. Alright. So, yeah. But, this kind of ends the Alabasta Arc, as the numbers aren't really a problem. Zoro fights against Mr. 1. Zoro cut him down in a simple slash. Johnny and Yosuke are sparring partners, and they're really good swordsmen. They know how Zoro fights, and they know how to train with him. They know how. Nami versus Mr. Doublefinger. Not really too hard. Nami had the climbing attack a bit early, so when she was given to it, Mass Deuce and Usopp taught her how to use it. And then, we go on to basically just Mr. 2 versus Sanji, and Sanji and him fight, which doesn't go much different, actually. Sanji has a bit more strength and speed. Then Mr. 3, not here. Mr. 4 versus Usopp. Usopp kind of just runs past all the baseballs, he can dodge a majority of them. But then he kind of just picks up Mr. 4 and body slams him so hard that he almost broke his neck. All Usopp had to do is evade, pick up, and throw. That's all it took. Evade, pick up, throw. There, he ends the fight like that. Then Miss Merry Christmas. Well, Chopper fights her, and Chopper does pretty decent, actually. Then, it just kind of ends everything. But now instead of leaving, Vivi she officially joined the Triad crew because she's obsessed with Mass Deuce. Now the bounties. For Alabasta, Luffy's bounty is currently 650 million. The fact that he wiped out any marine fleet in his path, or any marine ship in his path besides Smokers and Hina's. But any other ship, he just sank immediately. So yeah, there's like 2 surviving ships out of like the 10 that were sent, and Luffy intentionally sank those ships. Very, very few people died, but still, Luffy sank those ships, plus he beat a warlord. But then, Ace's bounty rose to 637 million, this being Luffy's right-hand man. Mass Deuce, 390 million. Zoro and Sanji both have a bounty at 35 million. Both of them do. Nami, 10 million. Usopp, no bounty. Then, Johnny and Yosuke both share a bounty, 10 million. And then, then we can probably give a bounty of, I would say, actually, I may have read this wrong. Alabasta, Luffy, 650 million. Ace, 637 million. Mass Deuce, 390 million. Zoro and Sanji, 35 million. Nami, 20 million. Usopp, 20 million. Johnny Yosuke, 40 million. BB, 10 million. Chopper, 5,000. And because Robin is associated with the Whitebeard Pirates, 990 million. So yeah. And out of this, we head on to the next arc, being Jaya and Skypiea. But these arcs show no difference besides Nami not telling Luffy to don't cause any trouble. It's more or less Mass Deuce telling them that. But when Bellamy tried to start anything, Johnny Yosuke will bowl both of the swords to his neck, telling him they're willing to cut off his head. Then we try to get them away from him. They're actually pretty easily keeping pace with Bellamy like it's nothing. Which shocks everyone besides the Straw Hat crew, that Bellamy's having these 2 random guys keep pace with him like it's nothing, even when he's going all out with his double fruit. They're keeping pace with him. You know, Luffy was just watching Bellamy closely, just no different with a single punch and cannon. It's Luffy know that even easier with observation hockey. So yeah. But Johnny Yosuke can't notice Bellamy with that single punch. It would take a few of them, but they're more or less individually stronger than Bellamy, but they still can't 1-punch him. They can like 3-punch him, and that's about it. But yeah, so Bellamy eventually gets tired, while Johnny Yosuke aren't tired at all, and they still threaten to kill Bellamy. But eventually Bellamy just ends up retreating, so yeah. Blackbeard, he doesn't know that these 2 are probably out for blood, so he kind of just tells Screw to hide, and they do just that, so yeah. They don't find Blackbeard's crew on Jaya. Then they head into Skypiea, which I don't see being much different. Just Luffy is aware that lightning is kind of hard to hit with rubber, as Luffy has been struck by a lightning bolt once or twice on Whitebeard's crew, just honestly through heading to some random islands with heavy weather. But yeah, this is where the lightning kind of has little to no effect on rubber. So him and Enel just fight, and he doesn't avoid any lightning bolts whatsoever. If like super hot, then it'll burn him. He'll like put his hand out and then just let his hand take the brunt of the attack. That's about it. But eventually, after Luffy not throwing a single attack while Enel's firing all the abilities you can think of, even something like Raiga, Luffy just went in gear 3rd and punched the Raiga through the air. Like Luffy just no diff that Raiga with little to no effort. Like just that's a big ball of lightning that can wipe out all Skypiea. Put him in gear 3rd, punch it through the air into space. That's all he did. Punch it into space. He looked at Enel, shrank his arm again, grabbed Enel by the neck, and just choked him out. So yeah, it's like just choking out Enel. Then the rest of just no diff all of their opponents really. And then they end up getting Wiper as Luffy. I should say that the Wiper joined the crew as a weapons expert. As the ranks of the crew: Luffy, Captain; Ace, Vice Captain; Master Deuce, Doctor, and Handyman; Zoro, Swordsman; Nami, Navigator; Usopp, Sniper; Sanji, Cook; Johnny Yosuke. They're kind of miscellaneous, but training dummies is the best way to put it. Vivi, voice of the people. She's a very reasonable woman, and the fact that she's been raised as a princess and knows how to talk to people perfectly in the most respectful and calm way possible. Vivi is voice of the people. And Chopper is the nurse. The Whitebeard ends up joining as a weapons expert and also the weapon maintainer. Like, he maintains all the cannons and the swords, so on and so forth. Then Water 7, not much different actually. Until Robin's on the sea train, where she actually tells CP9 that they're fucked. That's all she tells them. But then we can probably just cut to Sanji walking on board of their ship, on board the sea train. But there's a lot more people with him, and Johnny Yosuke are with him as well. Johnny Yosuke starts down every several agent, telling them that telling Sanji they'll cut down basically every agent in their way. He can just fight CP9 straight out. Sanji would not, as he uses his new Diablo Jambe, beats up most of CP9 actually until it comes down to Kaku and well, actually not to Kaku, actually just Lucci's the biggest struggle, and Lucci is still almost beaten by Sanji. But Sanji would kind of kick through the door as Johnny Yosuke kind of see outside, covered in a bit of blood and bruises, but every single Cyberpole agent and from other carts has been dispatched. And Sanji thinks he's closely realizing that they both just passed out through just blood loss. But Johnny had barely woken up before he stabbed Lucci right in the side, and Johnny held him in place at the same time. But eventually they park, and then, well, Zoro kind of just ran full speed ahead, cutting the train cart in half. So we got to Johnny Yosuke and Sanji, and we got Lucci cutting him down immediately. And this is how the arc ends. Robin is like, good, you guys are here now, let's go. Get on the sea train, and the Frankie family and Guy Lodge run amok, destroying most members of the government. But yeah, besides him and just sheer nervousness called a Buster Call. But then Luffy fought off the whole Buster Call by himself. Occasionally Ace would join in as Luffy asked him to, that's about it. Occasionally Ace joined in. Occasionally. But yeah. But now with this, well, with Luffy doing the main one fighting off the Buster Call, no bounties at the end of Water 7. Luffy, 700 million. Ace, 660 million. Master Deuce, 415 million. Zoro, 60 million. Sanji, 55 million. Nami, 70 million. No, wrong thing. Nami, 30 million. I'm dumb. Her bounty is almost higher than Zoro and Sanji's. 20 million for Nami. Usopp gets, I would say, I don't see them changing too much, honestly. There's no Soga King here, and there's really no need for Soga King. Because this is not the Mary. Usopp never left. This is literally Luffy and Ace's ship. Happen to have the name Mary in this one. It's just, coincidentally, it's named Mary. That is it. Yeah. Then Johnny Yosuke, they both have bounties of around 40 million. Then Vivi has a bounty of 60 million. No, fuck that. It's too close to Zoro and Sanji. 28 million. Chopper gets a bounty of 50,000. Robin, 110 million. Wiper, 70 million. Frankie, 50 million. That's the bounty of the crew. But then we go on now to Basic Thriller Bark. But Luffy isn't really too entertained by this arc, honestly. Kind of just tells Zoro to go get Brook's shadow, or have Brook and bring Zoro to go find the shadow. Then tells Chopper to go find Dr. Hogback. In the meantime, he'll go beat up Moria. So, and just everyone just to stay docked. Where the little crew eventually met them, and then they kind of get on the boat, and they kind of camp out there. In the meantime, Zoro and Johnny Yosuke, they go along. They cut down basically anyone in their path. When Zoro and Ryuma fight, Zoro cut down Ryuma a lot faster than he can, and takes his blade. As Ibashiri still got decayed, but Luffy immediately punched Shu into the water. Yeah, Shu's dead, but Zoro still lost Ibashiri. But yeah. Well, in the meantime, Luffy just flattened Moria's castle with Moria inside of it. Then Chopper found out Dr. Hogback was a frog and kind of just flattened the whole base that Dr. Hogback was at, and then left. So yeah. And then with this, well, as they're leaving, Luffy kind of just went your third and punched the center of the bark, kind of just collapsing it in half. Then, as it sinks, Luffy escaped. Skimmer was on their boat and kind of just fought thrice for a brief amount of time. But wasn't none of them were in pain at all. Like, if they were, it's enough pain to be considered like, I'll be sore for like an hour and a half maybe. Then I'll be good. That's kind of all it is. But yeah. Then Sap Odie, not much different. Impel Down. Well, on Impel Down actually. Or I need to discuss where this starts to go in the time skip. But also what Luffy does to make his bounty a lot higher than usual. He punched out Charlos' whole family and all of Charlos' guards, like his Charlos, his sister, and his father, and then all of his guards. Then the whole Marine group outside, and basically everyone around him. As the supernovas are Zoro and Sanji. No one else. Literally, the same supernovas, just Sanji replaces Luffy, or Zoro replaces Luffy, Sanji replaces Zoro. Because Luffy is a supernova from 3 years ago. Simple as that. He's the supernova from 3 years ago. Or 2 years ago, I guess. That's when Cavendish said, I believe. But, yeah. Long story short, he's in the same generation as Cavendish. That's the best way to say it. Also, who's aware of who Cavendish is. But yeah, Sabody goes pretty much the same, just where the rest of them go for training. Luffy, same. Ace, stays. Mass Deuce and Chopper, Toriko Kingdom. Zoro, Johnny Yosku, Mihawk. Nami, Weatheria. Usopp, Island. Wiper, and Frankie, whatever island that Frankie went to in canon. Vivi and Robin head to basically the it's the whole place where they're to kill the wolf. They head there, but Vivi, in a matter of like 10 minutes, started a whole revolution and she shut that shit down so quickly. That was impressive in 10 minutes. So yeah, Brook, same place, and kind of ends where everyone else goes. So yeah. But yeah. So it's kind of just Luffy and Ace something. Boa just all for Luffy, and Luffy's aware of this. Plus Luffy has the whole thing of Whitebeard saying that a real man loves his women. So this lesson that Whitebeard taught Luffy is Luffy didn't seem to have an interest in women. Whitebeard also told Luffy that he should have other interests than just sheerly being a pirate. So just trying to find a new interest being women. He literally went along with Boa Hancock's whole thing of I like you. Because he also liked Ace, which was a whole weird thing. That's something that Luffy didn't ever want to do in life, but he ended up doing that one thing he never thought he would have to do. 3 action. Just 3, like the number 3, then right after that, put whatever word you want. And that is what happened between Boa, Luffy, and Ace. You guys get what I'm insinuating, but still, just do what you want. Do what you want with these words. But yeah. But now what Marineford is all about. Marineford is over the rights of who gets to kill Blackbeard. That is what it's about. The right to kill Blackbeard. That's all it is. As Blackbeard started doing some BS, this time Aokiji stopped him, brought him up to level 6 with Impel Down, then tried to execute him to draw the Whitebeard Pirates as they know the Whitebeard Pirates are gunning for him. Because the Strauss are gunning for him too. So yeah. So Whitebeard kind of calling up Luffy, then made Impel Down to see if Blackbeard's there. Luffy arrived. Like, everything goes the same, finds the whole crew and everything, just not Ace isn't there because Ace is right next to Luffy the whole time. Like, well, why Blackbeard isn't here? Jinbei says we just missed him. So he should be on his way to Marineford right now. So yeah. Luffy frees Jinbei and the rest of the escapees. They run out, and Ace just gives a hand to some gentleman with disrespect. Then, when it kind of came to the Demon Guards, Luffy just honestly just spun around at max speed and kicked them all through walls and shit. Then they escape on a ship. Then with this, we should go on now to basically just what happens after Impel Down, which is just Marineford. What difference is that Ace doesn't die, but Whitebeard does. In the attack that Ace takes in this war, Whitebeard takes instead. So yeah, the only thing is that Whitebeard doesn't die due to the fucking third hole in his body. Or third magma hole in his body. He dies just from, honestly, just his sickness in the middle of the war. And Blackbeard still took its fruit. So, yeah. But Blackbeard just to escape kind of caused chaos. It's the only reason he escaped is because Luffy, in the middle of the fight, kind of fought Sengoku. Sengoku's Budo form kind of destroyed the platform that Blackbeard was on, and then he escaped. But then these Impel Down escapees were also with him at the same time. So, yeah. I mean, he got them before he went to that island. So, yeah. Or actually, it doesn't matter. He can still be there by himself, just not as much numbers, but a bit better gear, is what I'd say. It's a bit better gear, many stuff like numbers, and Whitebeard still dies the same way as in canon, I'd say, but maybe more or less on the illness side. But then Whitebeard escaped, Blackbeard escapes, and the Shanks arrived, and the war declared more of a draw than anything else. Luffy and Ace are both monsters. That's kind of what the deciding factor is. Marineford is not that interesting in this part, or no interested in canon, so yeah. But then they leave, and Marco says he wants to train Ace by himself, actually. And Luffy allowed this saying he's going to train with Rayleigh, so yeah. Luffy's bounty after the war is 880 million. Ace's bounty is 810 million. So yeah, Ace got a good old level up. So yeah. So Ace at 810 million. And then, yeah. Now let's move on to basically just, well, post-Sabaody. So, yeah. Luffy's just there, but he has, with him already having an advanced observation, they focus more on Conquerors and armament hockey based training, so Luffy already has Ryuo at this point, and so does Ace. Or actually, Ace has more or less advanced observation hockey than anything else, as more advanced observation hockey more than anything else, because he already has good armament hockey form already. So yeah. Plus he kind of focused on Conquerors by himself. Well, it's not as good as Luffy's is, but Luffy trained him with Conquerors a bit on the ship. So, yeah. Or Shanks, we can say like Shanks stopped by and trained Ace and Conquerors briefly. But yeah. But then the next arc would end up being basically just Fishman Island. But Luffy could basically own Fishman Island as Luffy took over like half of Whitebeard's territories. Like after he died, like Luffy has a majority of Whitebeard's territories now, like half of them. The ones that Blackbeard didn't take, Luffy is in full control of those. So yeah. So yeah, then we just go on now to basic Fishman Island, which doesn't happen because Luffy controls Fishman Island. Not Big Mom actually, just Luffy. Punk Hazard, not much different honestly to me. I don't see any difference in it or any need of any difference. Dressrosa. Luffy just told everyone to go get on Dressrosa and wreak as much havoc as you can towards any pirate, and they do just that. Like Mike, Zeus found out like the flag guy was, jumped in and just stabbed him in the middle of the whole like just Coliseum and left him there to die. Then left. Luffy straight up went to Flamingo and then beat the dog shit out of him just because he could. So yeah, just oh there's Dofi, Red Rock, and then just stomp him out in the middle of Dressrosa. Luffy just jumped him before he had the chance to even know Luffy even existed. So, the Straw Hats jump Dressrosa. They disrespectfully jump it. So, yeah, but by the time they're done in Dressrosa, like just what press like a bazooka pointed right at Senior Pink's head, saying, "I dare you say hard boiled one more time." Dressrosa is just done for, but Sanji had left in secret. Honestly, because he got kind of like the Denmushi call from Germa to meet him at Zo. He gets to Zo. Then at Zo, he gets told to head to Whole Cake Island. So they're there now without the Mary. So the next option with these numbered people, plus Luffy convincing Kuro to join because he thinks a one-armed badass is awesome, like all of us should. All that's left is basically just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Kind of big. So there's 14 people without a boat. Or, wait, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 14 people without a boat. Should steal one. Who cares? Or Sengoku is probably so cool with Law, so Sengoku and Law provide them. Sengoku provides them with the boat. They get to Zo, they climb it. Bold plus can run on one skate and Conjuro, but yeah, they get to Zo, they get to what happened, and they leave. To Whole Cake Island. Well, the rest to go to Whole Cake Island. Basically, Luffy, Deuce, Nami, Sanji, Vivi, Chopper, Brook, Pedro. That's about it. But in the meantime, Ace, Zoro, Johnny, Yosuke, Wiper, Frankie, and Kiros all head to Wano. Plus Yamato and Robin. So, yeah. Yamato's already in Wano, and Robin just heads to Wano like in canon. But yeah. Or there are 15 tries without a bow. I forgot that. Or 19. Because Kandro, Monosuke, and Kinemon. Yeah. Honestly, this Whole Cake Island is easily a stomp for Luffy. Cracker gets literally just no diffed by Mass Deuce in seconds. Mass Deuce is how strong as Cracker is, but Mass Deuce has a lot better technique and speed. So Cracker is just not able to keep up with Mass Deuce just due to how strong he is. But yeah. And then so Mass Deuce beats Cracker in a few seconds. Then they kind of just do whatever they do in the whole arc until it came to Luffy versus Katakuri. This arc is not much different. Sanji beats up Luffy. He regrets it. Big Mom's kids try to attack Luffy, but he no diffs all Big Mom's kids, but he isn't captured. So yeah. The only thing is that him and Nami aren't captured, but neither is Mass Deuce. No one is. So yeah. But in the meantime, they gather info, and then we go to the wedding now. Luffy fights Katakuri, but for like 10 hidden minutes. Luffy's a user of advanced observation haki, advanced armament haki, and amazing Conqueror's control. So, what can Big Mom do against this? Tell me what. What can she do? Nothing. That's what. So yeah. So he kind of just jumps Katakuri and then leaves after like 15 minutes. After this, he fights Big Mom, so everyone finishes up their fights. Once everyone is ready to leave, they all escape. So, gone. Gone with the wind. And Jinbei tells them out of there, but Luffy convinces Jinbei to stay with them as Big Mom is not coming after them right now. No one is. Big Mom is on the ground panting, and then so is Luffy. So yeah, Luffy's bounty after Whole Cake Island. His bounty after Whole Cake Island is 2.3 billion, making him the 5th emperor, and taking up the bounty of Blackbeard. So, yeah. Luffy has 2.3 billion. Ace has nine. Actually, not Ace. Actually, Ace doesn't get increased. He wasn't there. Nami gets a bounty for 10 million, as Luffy just told her to do whatever she could for battle. Plus, she has Zeus. He made that known she had Zeus. Mass Deuce actually got a bounty of 800 million from this arc. So, yeah. Mass Deuce threw hands with Cracker and then beat Cracker in seconds. Man finally got respect on his bounty. He took Cracker's. BB's bounty is roughly 210 million. Then we end up having Chopper, 500,000. Chopper gets a lot more track. Like, this is not a pet, this is a Whitebeard pirate crew pet. And this is what that is. Well, Whitebeard pirate crew pet. That's what he is. So yeah. Then Brook got a bounty 400 million, so good on him. Pedro didn't die. Not Brook actually. Mass Deuce saved him. So, kind of just tore the explosives off his belt and threw him right at Tamago, which killed him actually. Tamago dies in this one. Pedro has a bounty 90 million. And Kiros has a bounty 60 million. So, Kiros just isn't here. He's on Dressrosa, but we got the bounty 60 million after Dressrosa. But now Wano. Where it's not much different, actually. Just when Ace arrived there, he met Otama, just to make sure that she was okay. Then escaped. Went to Yamato, telling her that he's on his brother's crew now, that they kind of left Whitebeard because he died. Well, because they left Whitebeard before he died, but they're still allies. Whitebeard's dead now. And then told her that even Mass Deuce is here. But then he kind of just... Actually, with Ace having met Yamato, or... Hey, Luffy knows Yamato on this one. He's older than Ace. He's on Ace's... Him and Ace were in the same place at the same time most of the time. So, if anything else, the only difference would be that Luffy was the one to fight Yamato, then Ace and Yamato get along. Then Luffy got along with her as well. But Ace frees Yamato by actually just somewhat channeling Ryuo and then throw the explosives through the air, then run out Yamato. But no one saw who she ran with. So Yamato escaped, and Kaido didn't really care. She doesn't know how to leave Wano. She just knows. Well, she only knows Wano. She doesn't know how to leave it. But yeah, honestly, all this next will probably just be the war. But Luffy is ready for that. Like he literally left Wano with every bit of alliance he had that's ready for smoke. Basically, just Luffy, Ace, Master Deuce, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Johnny, Yosuke, Vivi, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Wiper, Frankie, Brook, Kuros, Pedro, Jinbei, Yamato, Momonosuke, Kinemon, Kanjuro, uh, Shinobu, the Scabbards, the rest of them. They left Wano to go to like a distant island that's like is an eyesight. It's an eyesight for them, like they can see Wano and Onigashima, but it's kind of out of eyesight for anyone else. No matter what you do there, unless the island is being destroyed or a dragon emerges, which will happen, but only like a brief moment. But honestly, the whole time of basically just from Kaido trying to kill the Straw Hats and then onwards, which he doesn't try to actually. The Straw Hats aren't in the capital, and Luffy and Law both end up breaking Kid out of jail. So and Killers escaped. So Killer, Law, and Kid too. They kind of all just train this abandoned island for a really long time until they are ready for war. Giving Luffy perfect Ryo and conquers hockey coding. And also better observation. Ace, Ryo, Master Deuce, Ryo, Zoro, Ryo, and conquers coding because he needs that to conquer Enma. Nami, really good observation. Usopp, better observation, and a little bit of ornament hockey. Yosuke, ornament hockey. Or Johnny, ornament hockey. Yosuke, observation. Vivi, observation. Chopper, ornament. Robin, both. Wiper, ornament. Frankie, ornament. Brook, observation. Kuros, ornament. Pedro, ornament. Jinbei, observation and ornament enhanced. And Yamato was more like a teacher, so boom. So yeah, everyone in the alliance has really good hockey, even advanced Ryo at this point. So they invaded Onigashima, and they're causing hell for basically everyone there, as they're all masters of hockey. So yeah. So eventually it just comes down to Luffy versus Kaido, and Law and Kid versus Big Mom. They fight her, and they're stomping her out disrespectfully. But eventually, Momo had joined in with his fight, joining in Luffy's fight against Kaido, and then there's basically just a dragon and sun god versus a blue dragon. Who do you think would win this fight? Sun god and a pink dragon, or just a pink dragon and a sun god, or just a blue dragon with those childhood soldier? Yeah, sun god and pink dragon. Yeah, these two basically just drop Kaido disrespectfully. So yeah, Kaido's dropped evilly. Zoro stared at King, and the fight ended 5 minutes later. Sanji did the same thing for Queen. 5 minutes later, the fight's over. Then Kid and Law pretty easily beat Big Mom. Then Black Maria versus Robin. That wasn't even a fight. That was an utter stomp. Robin learned both forms of hockey, so yeah. Then when it came to Ulti, that was left up to Vivi and Nami, who they both easily beat Ulti. And then Usopp and Kuros just threw down page 1 and took him down. Pedro and Jinbei both easily just known who's who. Who's a racist, face it. Chopper and Master Deuce both cured the Ice Honey virus, but when Marco arrived, they immediately cured the disease. Like it took them like maybe 10 minutes, and they cured the disease, maybe even 5. But yeah, Usopp fights against like Sasuke with Frankie and Wiper, or actually no, Wiper Frankie can Sasuke. Usopp can fight against like maybe fucking Apu. Usopp and Apu, they fight, and Kid butted in and killed Apu. So yeah, then Brook just fights anyone that's trying to invade him. Robin and Black Maria's fight, or Robin's abuse against Black Maria. This honestly ends most of the story at this point, because Wano ends so damn quickly. Like the war on Onigashima ends in like 20-30 minutes. Kid and Law's fight with Big Mom took 10 minutes. That's all it took. Luffy's fight with Kaido took even less because he's stronger than Kaido is. Simple heck. I'm stronger, I win fast. I win quicker. Even if he's struggling, Ace can join in and just torch Kaido because he's really strong too. But yeah, this kind of just ends this arc. Next up, Elbaf. Elbaf is reportedly somewhere where Shanks would hang out, or is his territory, one of the two. So they're pretty chill there. Maybe Loki's mad at them about the whole Big Mom or Lola thing. Who cares? Loki isn't powerful to the Straw Hats, who are this powerful right now. So at this point, bounties are basically irrelevant. Just know Luffy's over 4 billion. Luffy and Ace both are. So is Yamato. But yeah. After Elbaf, just honestly a pretty chill arc, and then one of the training arc. So for Luffy to master Luffy, Kid, Law, Ace. It's basically just a place for the Strats to master their awakenings and learn a few new techniques for their awakenings. Maybe they're there for like a year. Then Lodestar, where they meet up. Well, first they find the Pirate Paradise. They beat up Moria. Moria leaks where Blackbeard is, and then they get a Lodestar. They find directions to One Piece. But in the meantime, well, Sabo is still on Marijois. But they had Marijois, and they solved that quickly. Just that wasn't necessarily even an arc with how powerful the Straw Hat crew currently is. Then after that little Marijois side quest, all the way over to basically just the One Piece. Luffy's stronger than basically anyone at this point right now. He fought Celestial Dragon, then he fought Admirals. He didn't say he beat any Admirals, he still fought them. Then he fights Blackbeard, and then he says that Akiinu stronger than you, and then beat up Blackbeard. This story is not much anything else. It's not much right after Elbaf. It ends too damn quickly. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed the story though, like and subscribe for more. Adios.